When I was 17, I was a high school dropout and didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was queer and I was Latinx and had no safe space to go. That changed when I was introduced to an organization called Galay, a queer Latinx social justice agency here in Philadelphia. So today I get to talk to their next generation of young leaders. So with me today I have Jorian, Julian, and Naven from Galay. Thank you for coming on Kikis with Louie.
Thank you.
And I gotta say that I love that y'all are from Galay. I've shared the story many times about how I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And not even that, I didn't even have an ideal of what being queer and Latinx or being queer and brown, being queer and black looked like. It was agencies like Galay and Colors that provided me the guide to do that. And it's amazing that these agencies, especially Galay, still exist and are cultivating young leaders like yourselves. So again, thank you for joining us today. But the first question is, how did y'all get involved with Galay? So how did you get involved with Galay, Nathan?
Well, it's a funny story. We went to the park and right across the street, you can see Galay. And I was just like, this looked very interesting. And I was like, what is this? Like, and it was like, oh, this is like an LGBT community center. Like, I really think that you'll like it. And I'm like, I want to go in there.
We was just chilling in the park and we seen this big building and it just said Galay really big and we was like, whoa. So we went in, I was nervous, and then all these staff just started coming to me just like very nicely, like generous, and ever since then it's just been like a second home for me.
Well, how I got introduced to Galay was you. And ever since then, Alicia at the time offered me a part-time position and volunteer opportunities there. And that's how I've been here for 3 years now.
And now you're an HIV tester there.
I'm a full-time HIV tester.
Why is storytelling important for elevating and amplifying queer youth?
The reason why storytelling is important to me because it's, for me, I became very broad. I became very macro with it. And I felt like it was very much needed to show all of social media and all of the world that HIV does not have this ideal look to it. And by showcasing myself, they can say like, oh wow, like you look completely normal. There's no, there's not that look that was back in like the late 70s and early 80s. So I feel like that's very important to me to like showcase myself and to show people like this is what I look like having HIV, especially as a queer Latinx young man who is only 25 years old and only having it for 5 years. I also believe it's very important to showcase on social media and to people because I think there is this still level of stigma that is attached to HIV, and people don't know how to grasp that idea when they hear HIV. You know, something I've learned that my mother had told me, that people don't leave the block. So people only know what they know on their own block, what they grew up on the block. So they don't know what's around the corner, and it's always that sense of scare, that sense of nervousness.
So Julian, I know that you're in a choir. Is this a school?
At first, I was like very, very, very scared at first because it was just like so many like older students than me. Like I was the only young bull in there.
Yes, come on with the Philly language. Come on, young bull.
And it was just like very scary and like intimidating.
So Naven, you mentioned that you do makeup. What inspired you to get into makeup?
Well, pretty much my older cousin. When I was little, when I was like 15, he used to like do his like eyebrows. He used to like wear mascara, and I was just like, that's beautiful. And I was like, I really like that. And then like, I was trying it. I watched, they're on YouTube, his name is Heath Wallace, shout out. Anyway, it's him and Brendan Rock, them two, they are so fabulous, and they're like my idols. I hope that by me doing this, like helps other people come out their comfort zone.
What is it like to be a queer young person of color in this city now, either in schools or just like in the entire city, walking through your neighborhood or just walking in spaces throughout the city?
For me, it's really, really hard because in school, it's like there's so much people that don't agree with my ways and how I want to live my life. Like if I come to school with a wig on, people will want to fight me after school. People want to beat me up in bathrooms. you have to have a lot of confidence to live in this world. Like, I just can't walk out the house with a full face of makeup without having confidence, because if not, I'm just gonna like crash down. I'm just like gonna ball up, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. And like, people out there just need to know, like, there is people out there that's gonna accept you for who you are. And it's like, not everybody is like the bullies in school, and there is good people out there for you.
It was like, no, it was very difficult being in school. It's one of the reasons why I was homeschooled, because I was bullied so bad. So I was homeschooled all throughout high school. I feel like I missed that high school development on the social active part. So being as an adult now, I definitely do struggle with social interactions with other adults who are my age, because I do suffer through anxiety of being bullied a lot. But now, being as an adult, I think for myself, it's somewhat liberating to be out and open about myself, especially knowing that the things I've done is very liberating for myself, and I can walk proudly on who I am. But there's also that niche in the back where it's like, I am a gay, queer, Latino man, and I do have HIV, and like I do have this and I do have that, and people have like that stigma where they call it the kitty cat here in Philadelphia for some reason. So for being so open and out and about it, it's like I can't really interact with a lot of people, a lot of folks who identify with, because they're just so set in the ways of like, oh my God, like we can't hang out with him because he do have it. Great, if they don't want to hang out with me, cool, I can be great by myself any day, anywhere I can. So walking this world, it's a double-edged sword. It's a liberating, but I have to watch my back sometimes, because I don't know what's going to happen to me the next day. It's like the message we found out yesterday morning about the trans woman who got murdered at, on Old York Road. And it's like, it's that feels like, am I going to be that next person because of whatever reason this person has against me?
There are going to be a lot of young LGBTQ people watching this, right? Some of the stories that you've shared and some of the experience you shared, they're going to say, well, I've either went through that or I'm going through that. What is the one message you would want them to know when watching this?
Find like a nice group of friends that you know that's going to stick with you through thick and thin. And when you have them close friends or even family, but for me, it's going to have to come to my friends. But, my friends, we are so close. And like, they give me that energy and that vibe to do what I like to do best. So, if I like to do makeup, like, my best friend be like, come on, like, let's do our makeup together. And like, we pick up our brushes and, we on FaceTime and, we doing our face.
My message is, if you ever scared, don't be, because we all beautiful. If you want to walk out with some makeup on, go ahead, because who cares who judges you? You are you. Just do you, and everything will be fine.
Whatever you're going through in life, don't let it consume you. You let it consume it. You define what your struggle is, and you make it into something beautiful. That's how life works sometimes. You take what you don't have and you make something out of it.
Well, I'm like so humbled to have shared this time and space with y'all. One, because you're creating the change that is needed. I know that sounds cheesy, but there are other young people who are watching y'all and thinking to themselves, if they can do it, so can I. Well, this is cute.
Louie!
Oh, hey. Well, I want to thank you for watching Kikis with me, Louie. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe down below. And I want to hear your thoughts and experiences on this topic. So drop a comment, let's keep the Kikis going.